That's a whole show, man. Nah, but we got more to go. We got more to go. You know, we got to get into one of my favorite segments, which is
Come on,
our music moment. What's
come
on the
on.
playlist? What are you listening to right now?
So for me, it's been more of a reflective for me.
Mm,
So I'm listening. I'm still on 1K Phew. I ain't going nowhere.
okay,
Um,
okay.
and I've been listening to Heaven.
Mm,
Yeah, man.
that's by 1K Few.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
and
And
it's on the Pray for
I've been,
Atlanta.
yep,
Okay.
yep, yep. And that's same thing I've been bumping last
Mm-hmm.
week. I've
Mm-hmm.
been mourning.
Mm-hmm.
I've been mourning, and I think what it is too is like during this season I've been grieving. Like you talk about the election and everything else, and I just been grieving. So this like it's a song that like just helps me sit into it
Mm,
because I want to be able to, like you said, like mourn with those who mourn. So it just helps me like that's how songs do it for seasons. So they facilitate an environment for you to actually sit in something. So it
yeah.
helps me sit into because that's why I asked you like, so how have you been doing? So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like I like it's with music with me. So if like
Mm,
people are mourning, then like I need to like cultivate environments where I can tap into the mourning part of it.
yeah. That's good. That's good,
Hmm.
King. That's good.
What you got, Doc?
So I mean, I'm still in a practice chokehold. You know,
I know you are.
I'm still in that, but um I finally made my way to Torey Deshawn's
Come
project
on.
and got it, you know, again, no disrespect to the team. I'm just going A&R a project the way I need to hear it. That's just in my spirit. I do that for everything. It is very rare. I'm not going to change the sequencing, but again, it's. I think that's why we make playlists. It's for our mood. It matches how we want to experience something, and so I just got a chance to spend time with it and a great project. I mean, the fact that I can put a playlist together around an artist album and resequence it already says to me that it's a great project. And so the song that really that opens my playlist, okay, on my project, on my version of Tori Deshawn's album is Real Life. And
No, I thought
that's
you were gonna say repent. Come
oh,
on.
Repent is next, but Real Life is
Come
where I
on.
start because and that's REEL, Real Life is the name
Come
of the
on.
song. But I just wanted to read some lyrics from it today because why I like it because to me it sets the environment of the time. Like it's a song that reflects the world we live in. So if I think about like if somebody was to discover my canon of this album, it would be like Real Life sets the context for like what's the environment this was all going on in, what's the environment we're living in, and I feel like it's a song that like locates you specifically in the world we live in, where social media is kind of the dominant way that we express in culture. It's such a big part of our lives, so that's why it starts the project for me. Um, but he says that the internet never gonna ever understand why I pray to you. Lord, please forgive me. I do things that ain't okay with you. Exterior hard, but my heart soft as baby food. God, you the first father to teach me that it's okay to lose, that it's okay
Whew,
to bruise, that it's okay
whew,
to fall. Don't want to think
whew,
about trauma, so I don't think at all. And if it
whew,
ever come down to it and I don't ever ball, I never needed
whew,
fast money because he paid it all.
whew.
Man. Like you got to understand how many times I ran that back. Like I was like, man, you are saying so much, young man.
So much.
Woo! These
Especially
rap
with baby, especially that baby food. That go
man,
back to what we talking about.
what man, sorry, I just gotta let that breathe. I mean, the internet never gonna understand why I pray to you. That just helps me understand, even in the work we're doing with this digital discipleship and our intentions. Um, Nobody's ever gonna understand what's in your heart. Nobody's gonna ever understand what God has brought you through, brought you from. And you can never expect people that don't really do life with you in person to understand what you are giving it up for, why you are so passionate when you talk about God, why do you love God so much, like, and that's no diss. It's just like nobody knows you on the internet. You know what I mean? So like, it's like they'll never understand why I pray to you, Lord, please forgive me. I do things that ain't okay with you. I mean, again, we're talking about maturity. We're talking about being able to admit mistakes.
Come on.
Exterior hard, but my heart soft as baby food. Like I just empathize. I hear so much of him in that and where he's from. And I think he's from Louisville or St. Louis. I can't remember. But just like that exterior that we try to put up or have to put up sometimes in this earth to survive, but like having that heart like David, right? That soft heart, that heart that's moldable, that can be that allows God to get into it, right? And shape it and transform it. But God, you the first father to teach me that it's okay to lose. Man, oh man. This really hit me. This one really touched me because I have a father that's a little bit, where you talk to me about a lot of my vulnerability and my self-awareness. My father is very much like that. So God, that was definitely something God like used him to model in my life. And so but I
Come on.
empathize a lot with
Shout out
young
to
men.
Pop.
Shout out to Pops, huh?
You got to send him the podcast. Make sure you tell him to like and subscribe too now.
Yeah, not only that, I saw us before this 50 is done that we committed to before we see what God want to do next. We definitely got to each record one with our fathers. If the Lord,
Let's do it.
that dropped in my spirit is like that got to happen.
Gotta
Um,
happen.
it's so much context there, but yeah, to teach you that you the first to teach me that it's okay to lose. I just think about how many young men fall in this life. Enemy come to steal, kill, and destroy. How many people are destroyed because they losing is not an option or it's not okay to lose, and like just how they'll fight, they'll kill for the idea not to feel like they messed up, they lost, and like, and that is somehow an attack on who they are, that somehow it makes them a loser versus like, oh no, you messed up, you lost, you failed, but a righteous man falls and gets back up. You know what I mean? Like that repositioning was so powerful. So like for him to say that, God, you're the first person to ever teach me that it's okay to lose. Like I think about the lack of fathering in real life he may be experiencing, right? Like an earthly fathers, and just like that really connected with my heart. That it's okay to bruise, that it's okay to fall. Don't want to think about trauma. How real is that? So I don't think at all. Sometimes, when trying to not think about trauma, we don't think. And you can talk about how avoiding those emotions, how it leads you into all kinds of stuff. And then you find yourself in some stuff. You're like, how did I get here? It's like it was trying not to think, and you end up in these spaces. But and then if it ever come down to it and I don't ever ball, the idea of like we all want to be, balling out and making all this money, whatever, for him to, say I never needed fast money because he paid it all. And so I don't know, it was just like this beautiful poem of like, we talk about like poetry. And he referenced David a lot in not a lot, but he definitely referenced David in the album. But it just felt like this beautiful psalm that was honest, that was true about where he is, but also true about who God is. So, real life, kicking off Kevin's version of the "Come and See Torey Deshaun" album. But yeah, that's my song of the day. That's what I'm listening to.
Bro, that's hard, bro. Cause I had did a run through. I'd be listening to it while I live.
Hmm.
What I just what I just heard too is like the reason why you specifically picked that song.
Mm. Mm. Say
Like it correlates
more.
right. I mean, because it correlates with what you just said, right? Because
Yeah.
as you're talking, I'm like, that's what like if we're supposed to be expressions of God, then people know who we are by the way we love each other. But when we love each other, it's giving each other grace. So when we do community with people, you and your sister, you said you came to her and said, "Hey, I did something wrong,"
Hmm.
and she granted you grace, and then in
Hmm.
return, you had a chance to grant her grace.
Hmm.
So that's what he's saying when. I can fall, right? God taught me how to fall. So y'all are
Mm.
both expressions of God
Yeah, yeah.
to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense on why like that's the verse you sit in because you quote unquote, you know, fail. Had to you got convicted to
Yeah,
reconcile something.
yeah, yeah.
So it
Real
makes
life, right? Which is different than real life, right? Real life.